thank you for having me. I really don't know where that question is coming from. ODM is not interested in stopping the reggae if you are referring to BBI initiative as the reggae dance. So we are still committed and on course, and have never been ambiguous on matters BBI.
And you know that the reason as to why I was asking about looks like ODM is stopping the reggae, because right now, initially when this whole BBI conversation started, the ODM project, you know, with the Jubilee, it's a Jubilee ODM project because of the handshake that your party leader, Raila Odinga, and the president had at the doorsteps of Harambee House. Now we are seeing some of the leadership of the ODM party talking about, let's channel the funds for the BBI project, the referendum towards the COVID-19. Hence that question that I asked you, why does it look like the ODM party wants to stop the reggae of changing the constitution?
Brenda, I want you to first distinguish between a statement by individual members of the party and the party position. The ODM official party position still stands. Our priority, our political priority is BBI at the moment, and we want it passed fast enough and quickly so that we can move on to other matters, other important matters. This we are doing because we realized that for stability to be realized in this country, we need BBI, and there is no shortcut. There is no two-way about it. BBI is a project that we are committed to, and we are very clear in our minds as a party that BBI must be passed through a referendum because there are fundamental changes in the architecture of the executive. There are also issues regarding Bill of Rights. We do not want to change Kenyans. The Constitution is clear. When you touch certain sections of the Constitution, you must take it to a referendum. Regarding the statement by some senior officials of the party, I think you would need probably to talk to them to clarify a few facts about what they said. I know our deputy party leader, Governor Paranya, is a very calculative politician, and I was surprised with the statement, but he needs probably to clarify what he meant. I'm sure he did not mean that BBI should be stopped, but if he meant that, then it could be his personal opinion, because there is nowhere where we held a party meeting and came up with a different view. Regarding the Secretary General, we were with him yesterday, and he clarified to us that the question he was asked is that BBI is spending so much, we are spending so much money on BBI, and his response was, we have not spent any money. There's no money that is currently allocated to BBI, and if there is, then I think he went a little far and said if there is, then it should be used to fight COVID. But he assured us that he actually did not mean that BBI is no longer important. But I want to speak about official position of the party as the national chairman of the party. The official position of ODM is our political priority is BBI process. We are supporting it. We are in handshake. Any other propaganda should be treated as propaganda. Any other information to the contrary should be treated as personal opinion.
Should we treat claims that the push for a referendum might have come to an end following claims that the Secretariat has been shut down and that there are people within the office of the President who are actually trying to frustrate the BBI process?
I am not aware of the shutdown of the Secretariat, but if there is, there are people who are responsible for Secretariat, they would handle it. What I'm aware of and what I know is that the ODM party, and we are in constant consultation and communication with the other side, and my party leader has been in constant communication, even when he was recuperating with the President, and they are both committed to BBI process. The process is now in Parliament, so you may not need much activity at the Secretariat. What we need now is to have the bill dealt with in Parliament so that it goes back. It goes to the President. The President will again refer it back to IBC for action. And so then, once it lands on the desk of IBC, then we will need a robust Secretariat to coordinate the political activities. At the moment, it is not so important to have the Secretariat. That's my view. But I want to reiterate again that any other view or any other information out there that ODM is having second thoughts on a referendum, treat as mere rumors and at best propaganda.
You're saying that ODM doesn't want to walk out of the project, but then there is a bit of some blame that we're seeing some political leaders from the ODM party saying that you've complained about the Harambee House technocrats who are out to frustrate the BBI process. And see our Senator James Orengo is on record actually saying this, and you've heard it also from that story that had been filed by my colleague Duncan Haimba. You heard the sentiments.
Imagining that a process as important as BBI would not have saboteurs along the way would be overstretching your imagination, and actually would be naive or political naivety at best. We are aware that BBI has enough enemies, BBI has enough saboteurs. BBI may have people with different opinions, even among the people who support it, and so there could be elements everywhere, in the government, outside government, in the political circles, in the communities, who actually could be having different opinion about BBI. Those are matters that we have to deal with politically, and I think have been dealt with politically.
All right. So now, Honorable Mbadi, just before we talk about a bit of some ODM politics in terms of a flag bearer for the 2022 general elections, we saw before the National Assembly, actually Parliament, both the National and the Senate Assembly took an adjournment because of the protocols that the President gave last week. The joint Senate and National Assembly the legal committees have so far failed to agree, on the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, commonly known as the BBI report, which was set to be tabled on the floor of the House before the adjournment was done.
Again, I want to, first let me say that I may not be at liberty to discuss much of the details about a report that is still before a committee or committees of Parliament. But again, I want to say that these reports that you hear about disagreements in the committees, the joint committees, the information I have is again another propaganda. In fact, the information I have as late as yesterday is that the team is almost in agreement, and there is likely to be a unanimous report, no dissenting view, no minority report. So I want to encourage Kenyans, especially our supporters out there, that they should not listen to these saboteurs who are peddling a lot of propaganda around that there is disagreement among committee members. There was a talk that there was disagreement between Raila supporters and Uhuru supporters on reopening the BBI bill for amendments. There is no disagreement like such disagreements. As far as we are concerned, the bill cannot be amended at this stage. The committee can do a report because they are currently conducting public view, public hearing, and the public view must views from the public must be incorporated in the report, and that must inform any future discussion and any future discourse, including consequential legislation, because people have forgotten that apart from this constitutional amendment bill, there are a number of consequential legislations, numbering over 16, which will come immediately after we pass the bill, or after Kenyans vote in a referendum and endorse this bill. So what we must understand is that Parliament's input will be required in form of a report, but not amending the bill. Amending the bill at this stage is not tenable. But there is no disagreement at all between either Senate and the National Assembly, or disagreements between Raila supporters and President Uhuru Kenyatta supporters. The team is working solidly as one cohesive unit, and they are going to give us a report in due course.
All right.
Actually, if it were not for the suspicion that some of the members of that committee, some of them, I think, tested positive, and so they could not have the final meetings. The report was supposed to be concluded last Sunday. That is the information I have. So all these things you hear, Brenda, is mere propaganda, and we know where they are coming from.
Okay. Okay, Honorable Mbadi, wait and see that report, the sort of report that will be tabled on the floor of the House. But then let's turn to, the ODM party politics for now. You are the chairperson of that party. And as of yesterday, three political leaders in that party. I'm talking about Hassan Ali Joho, Honorable Raila Odinga, and Honorable Wycliffe Oparanyambetsa, submitting their names as desiring to fly the party's flag. But the question is, how transparent will the process be? Because ODM party is Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga is ODM party.
That's another mistake, Brenda, you make. I don't think Raila Odinga is ODM and ODM is Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is the leader of Orange Democratic Movement. That is as far as it goes. Orange Democratic Movement is a mass movement, is a political party that cuts across this country, has so many officials and structures. We have the highest organ of the party, that is a National Delegates Conference. We have National Executive Committee. We have the Central Management Committee. We have the branch, the county coordinating committees, the branches, which are the constituencies, the sub-branches, which is the wards, and then we have the units, which is the polling station. So this talk that Raila Odinga is ODM and ODM is Raila Odinga is again cheapening ODM politics, so to say. But answering your question first, I still don't know how many aspirants have expressed interest. So I don't know where these three names are coming from. I don't know whether it is authentic, but I want to just answer you by saying that this work is being coordinated by our National Elections Board, which, as you know, is an independent organ of our party. It is not working under direction of anybody, neither the party leader nor any other party official, including myself. I am waiting as a, I'm actually waiting as as the chairman under the chair of NEC to get a report from the National Elections Board, then we'll proceed. But answering your question about transparency, transparent nomination process, I guarantee, will take place, because I know the board is preparing for that.
Likely to see the name of the person who will fly the ODM's flag in next year's general elections out?
Pardon?
I'm asking about
I didn't get that question.
When are we likely to see the ODM party give a name of the person who will fly, the flag of the ODM party come next year's general election? Thank you.
Brenda, as you know, our flag bearer constitutionally, or if you read our constitution, is elected by the National Delegates Conference. The National Delegates Conference is always held at least once every 5 years, and we are due for one this year. I want to also add that the first step in the process was to advise for the National Elections Board to invite applicants for the same, to express interest, which I think the deadline has lapsed. So now the applicants which have been received, or those who have forwarded expressed their interest in the seat, I still don't know who they are. I still don't know the number. Will be made public by the National Elections Board, and the National Elections Board will forward the names, will report to NEC. And then NEC, which I chair, I want to repeat, will schedule or organize and plan for National Delegates Conference. It is not an easy exercise. It's not cheap. We have to organize it properly. But again, before National Delegates Conference is organized, we must again allow the candidates, if it is more than one, or if he or she, the candidates are more than one, we'll allow them to campaign. They must be given sufficient time to canvass for votes from the delegates across the country, and that will again be announced. So, in a nutshell, I still don't know when we'll hold our National Delegates Conference, but we will hold it within this year. I know that that is a decision that will be taken by NEC. So we will convene a NEC meeting after convening Central Committee meeting to decide on that. As at now, we still don't know when.
Deadline for other people who want to submit their names?
Unless the deadline is extended, which I haven't had National Elections Board. I have not had the National Elections Board express interest in extending. It was extended. But if it is extended, then I want to repeat that then if it is extended again, then definitely more members, anybody who is still willing or interested, will send a request. But as at now, it hasn't been extended. That is the information I have.
All right, as we wind up this conversation in a minute, Honorable Bombadi, what do you read from the coastal governors meeting with the president? You know, he had a meeting with the governor of Kilifi, the governor of Mombasa. Those two governors are from your political party, and of course, Governor Salim Vuria. Was the meeting sanctioned by the party, or was the party aware of that meeting?
I want to repeat here without contradiction. I'd said it before somewhere else, that the president wanted to meet the governor for Kwale, or met the governor for Kwale, but then our party leader, Raila Odinga, asked him also to meet with the governor Mombasa and the governor Kilifi. So the meeting with Joho and Kingi was actually from Raila Amolo Odinga. And even what was discussed, he has all the information, and there was no secret about that meeting. I think some people are trying to read too much into developments in this